What's going on? It's time for another episode of Too Hard for the Radio, transmitting from the future-free state of Greater Idaho. I am the one-armed madman. And back with me tonight from the Badlands of Southern Montana, where it is cold as fuck, it's Nolan 5150. How we doing, brother?
Ew.
We had all kinds of fucking issues tonight.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's very cold outside, but I am sweating like a pig right now. I've been like having to run my thermostat up a couple degrees because it just feels cold. You know what? This reminds me. I can go onto my iPad and turn down the fucking heat from here. So I'm gonna do that here in a second.
Sometimes technology is okay.
Yeah, right. It can have its perks from time to time, and until you get crazy lunatics like this guy who get in the way. Oh wait, that was a really good lead-in, and I didn't have the screen recording. Damn it. Here's Klaus Schwab.
Friend and colleague said, Bürgerbrände, geopolitically our world is more interconnected, yet paradoxically more divided and fragmented than ever. Economically, we grapple with sluggish growth.
Wait a minute. I thought Bidenomics was working. What about slackish growth? Whoa. I thought Biden was killing it. Didn't you? I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Louise.
I mean,
the nerve on this guy.
According to CNN and CNBC, yeah, the only news I get is from them, and they've been telling me everything's good to go.
What are you doing here, buddy? You trying to get Trump elected?
The very fabric of our societies is inclusiveness, which is in doubt.
It's in doubt.
Environmentally, we confront the relentless challenges.
The fact that they put this guy up here with this accent always just blows me away. It's like, hey, let's bring the Nazi up here to tell everybody that they need to have less of everything.
Really, it's kind. I mean,
the optics is just crazy.
Everything else aside, it is a cool accent in my opinion. But with the message that he's delivering, it just. I don't know how it can do anything other than just make you very, very concerned.
Yeah, like repulsed, just like, oh my God, this Nazi's coming to take everything I have.
Yeah, and then past that, like, why is he speaking English? It's clearly not his native tongue. Why isn't he speaking his native tongue and then having it translated?
Well, by the rules of inclusivity, I am using the common tongue.
Climate change, a threat to our planet's delicate balance. And technologically, we navigate uncharted waters where innovation offers boundless opportunities, but also unprecedented risks.
Uh-oh.
So steeply transformative challenges, which are actually the cornerstone of our program, lead to uncertainty, generalized fear, and pessimism.
Generalized fear and peasantism. Hey, what about this guy, right? You will own nothing, you will have nothing, and you will like it. Meanwhile, like, we're leading to peasantry. Oh, goodness. Who could be doing that?
They force us into a mode of short-term crisis management at the detriment of long-term strategic and sustainable solutions.
Like wind and solar.
This reactionary approach undermines our collective faith.
Our collective fates. Undermines our. Who does he mean by our? Like undermines them? Yeah, that's a problem, right?
Yeah, according to him.
In the future, at the dead end, here we losing the face of our future, we risk to become much more ego-centered.
Oh my gosh. we become much more ego-centered. Like the guy with the World Economic Forum, who we're going to set policy for the entire world, worries about us becoming too egocentric. That's fucking rich.
Yeah, and our, like you said, he says our future, collective.
What is
future.
our?
Yeah.
I always love when they say our democracy,
because you know that motherfucker's
our
not
democracy
including me
means
and you.
Yeah, no, our democracy means our hegemony. So when he says undermines our, he means like our control. And yeah, we are doing that. And he does not like it. The fact that we have this technology that allows us to have our own TV show for, you know, a couple $1,000 must repulse this lizard.
On a national.
He's like, we must ban road. Road is the enemy. It's allowing I don't know, misinformation.
On a national and individual level. To break this cycle, we need a paradigm shift. We must rebuild trust, and that's actually the theme of our meeting. We have to rebuild trust. Trust in our future, trust in our capacity to overcome challenges, and most importantly, trust in each other. Trust is not just a feeling. Trust is a commitment
It's a commitment.
to action, to belief, to hope. To achieve this,
I believe and I hope that you will own nothing soon.
we must rediscover and embrace the narrative that has driven humanity since its inception, acting as trustees for a better future. This narrative isn't about short-term gains or individual successes.
Oh no.
It is about stewardship,
It's a collective.
about preserving and enhancing our world for current and future generations. It is about understanding that our actions today have far-reaching consequences tomorrow.
Our actions. Yeah, man. This fucking guy. You know what I thought was really funny when he was talking about inclusivity, which is added danger. Oh, my inclusivity. And you might think that an economic forum would be talking about economic diversity or economics, you know? But that's not what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about. For those listening, they brought on a witch doctor to fucking put a curse on all of them.
Same thing, like,
This is inclusivity.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to be poor and to own nothing, but we want to bring you up here and parade you around so we can call ourselves inclusive.
Same thing like I was saying with him, speaking his native tongue. Okay, she's clearly speaking whatever, I don't know what language that is.
Witch doctor.
But why aren't they translating what she's saying? Like, it's
Because they have no fucking clue what she's saying. How are they gonna? Do you think any of them have any clue what she was saying? I have no fucking clue what she was doing. They're just like, yeah, bring her up here, let her dance around, and we'll score some points. That's the whole deal. That's what they mean by inclusivity. They don't mean that like they want you to be included in our current financial system and to have an economic future. No. Stewardship of the planet means that you're going to be poor, because if you're not poor, then we're going to boil the oceans. You know, these guys are freaking out.
Well,
over, I mean, like, the whole thing is we have to rebuild the trust. And it's like, when did we ever trust you? The minute that I saw this guy for the first time, I was like, holy shit, there's a Nazi who wants to steal everything that I hold dear to me. Like, when did anybody ever trust this fucking guy? Like, I guess the government maybe, and maybe he's talking about the Republican Party. Maybe that's all he's really talking about. Or he's talking about, you know, Trumpers. But like, whoever trusted this fucking guy? Like, Who made him the boss? Who invited him to spew out all of this fucking garbage and decide how we're going to live for the next 100 years?
I've no
nobody
idea.
ever
Yeah.
asked for this shit.
I would really love to.
And it's, we have to rebuild trust.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody, say anything about him in a positive light and be like, that guy's got it figured out. That guy is, speaking the truth.
Hey man, I was listening to this fucking interview with this guy named Klaus Schwab on the World Economic Forum, and he said that I'm gonna own nothing and I'm gonna like it, bro, and it was fucking rad.
But I'm gonna have a pod and I'm gonna eat the bugs, dude.
Yeah,
and
man.
Shred the gnar.
I'm gonna have a fucking van and a surfboard, and I'm gonna get universal basic income, bro. Yeah, man.
I think they need to get him shot up on some meth or something, because he's talking too slow. I need a little more energy to get behind his message.
Yeah. They need to give him the Biden juice, whatever they juice Biden up with. They got to give him some of that, and then he can really get fired up. And they need to have some better lighting and make it more ominous, so it really looks like they're coming after you for the New World Order. Because that's not what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, the guy is like a literal comic book villain.
Yeah.
And he's talking about building trust again. It's like, could you imagine, and he kind of looks like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Like an older version. Imagine if he destroys the entire city of New York, and then Superman kicks his ass and puts him in prison, and then he breaks out and he's like, he's like, hey, I need to rebuild trust. It's like, you fucking destroyed the city with an asteroid, bro. There's no trust here. There never was any trust. You're a creepy old man. Rebuild trust. Ugh, what a psychopath. I've got another 3 minutes of him, but I think we got the picture at this point, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. Bidenomics. I have some things on Bidenomics here, just real quickly. Here's from the Wall Street Journal, which is supposed to be, right wing. Bidenomics is working for the middle class. It's like, wait a minute. The middle class of what country? The middle class of Ethiopia? Did they get $10 billion last week that I didn't hear about? And they're now living large? Like, no, the middle class is not doing better. You're thinking about selling your car so you can buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, if the middle class was doing better, you'd be like, fuck it. I don't need any of that bullshit. What do you mean? I have to buy a fucking little box and yeah, whatever. My money's fine. I'm doing just fine. No. Bidenomics. Here's a little bit newer news. This was from last week when I heard this the first time. Here's from Fox. Ordner Biden and Seymour. Bidenomics message tells a campaign to let it go. The Bidenomics experiment is headed towards disaster. Bidenomics may be breaking ice with frosty voters. Analysis. Iowa caucus marks voters' first chance to begin kicking Bidenomics to the curb. I mean, nobody's buying this, and these are not just Fox News. Here's Politico. Seymour Sanders pans Bidenomic message. Yuck. That's what it says. Yuck. Down in the parentheses. Some Democrats hate it, but Bidenomics isn't going anywhere. Oh, CNN, thank you. I feel so much better. I'm so glad that we're going to get another 4 years of Bidenomics. That's just going to be great for everyone, right? Oh, man. Let's hear another comic book villain. Here's Ursula von der Leyen, Queen Ursula.
For the global business community, the top concern for the next 2 years is not conflict or climate. It is disinformation and misinformation.
Wait a minute. For the global business community, you're a part of the global business community, Nolan. You work for a global company like that. Harley Davidson, ESG company. How worried are you about misinformation? Is this wrecking your job right now? I can't imagine what it's like to have to work on a Harley when you've got people telling you the gas is going nowhere. It must be jarring, just jarring.
Followed closely by polarization within our societies.
Oh, boy.
These risks
We have
are
to come
serious.
together. You must come together and own nothing collectively.
Because they limit our ability to tackle the big global challenges we are facing. Changes in our climate
Yeah, she's facing them.
and our geopolitical climate. Shifts in our demography and in our technology. Spiraling regional conflicts and intensified geopolitical competition and their impacts on supply chains. The sobering reality is that we are once again competing more intensely across countries than we have in several decades. And this makes the theme of this year's Davos meeting even more relevant.
You know what's just terrible for society, Nolan? Competition.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could eliminate competition, and especially on a global level, and we could just all play on an equal playing field, and then we'll just all smoke pot, grab our van, and go down to catch some fucking waves, bro. Our universal basic income.
Tasty waves.
Yeah, we don't need any competition out there, man. We're all cool. It's you take your turn for the wave, bro. You were in position, man. Like, this is an economic forum. Like, competition is what breeds economics. Without competition, you don't get better products. You don't get better services. You just get these fucking people.
Yeah.
Who are paid endless amounts of money to do nothing. You know, last week, I don't remember if we covered this on the show. I don't think we did. But, I think we did. The border. 64 congressmen went down to the border to scream about something that they can watch on TV. There's 120 college degrees, $120 million, and 15 total jobs went down to complain about something they can watch on TV. And nothing got done except $1.7 trillion got spent. And will it do anything to fix the border? Absolutely not.
Rebuilding trust.
Oh, there it is. Jeez.
This is not a time for...
You know, in the EU, they've got things like Brexit is going down. They don't trust us, so they left our country. We need to rebuild trust so we can have this big socialist system. We can't stand one country leaving our socialist system. We have to have everybody under the same blanket. I think this is an interesting message, right? So now we've heard this from two different people, building back trust. So this is something like that was, you know, advertising agents, like social media people, all sat down in a room and said, what's going to be the theme for this year's Davos? And they go, well, these peasants don't like us and don't want to be our slaves. Let's rebuild their trust. That's a winner. It's almost like Make America Great, but better.
It's make the world great.
Yes, make the world great again. Under one global system, right?
Conflicts or polarization. This is a time to build trust. This is a time to drive global collaboration more than ever before. This requires immediate and structural responses to match the size of the global challenges. I believe it can be done.
I believe it can be done. And she smiles. Of course, because we're going to steal your tax dollars to do it. And I believe we can do that very easily because you peasants just sit at home and play video games and you don't do anything about it. So yeah, I definitely have no problem doing that. And I think we're going to do it right away. So she used a lot of coded language there to basically get at like one major point. And man, let's see, which one is it? This guy here, here's another fucking stooge. He just comes right out and says it. He doesn't pussyfoot around.
That order seems to not be the order anymore. We are on the way to a new order, so we are between orders.
Oh.
Do you agree with that, or are there ways of what are we able to keep on the positive side from the old order to bring into a new world order, and how can we avoid that new world order becomes like a jungle growing back, and we rather have an order based on international law and the principles that have brought us prosperity and freedom for decades.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
This new world order has brought us freedom and prosperity for decades. How are we going to keep that and yet crack down? Keep it for us, whatever. These fucking peasants.
and maybe this is the old kind of teacher in me coming out. I think of this a little bit more.
This is the teacher in me. Let me smooth this out so it doesn't sound so jarring when I start trending on Twitter later today. Let me kind of let me unpack this. That's something that these journos and teachers. Let's unpack that statement a little bit and get to the real root of the issue. So the teacher in me would like to say
About a transition of eras rather than a transition of orders,
It's
but
a
the
transition
two are kind
of
of
eras.
cousins of one another. The reason I draw the distinction is because I don't think the international order built after 1945 is getting replaced wholesale with some new order. It will
Well, why are we
obviously
here
evolve
then?
as it has evolved multiple times over the decades since 1945. But I do think in a more sharp and distinctive way, we are moving into a new era, and that's what I talked about in my remarks, that we are, the post-Cold War era has come to a close. We're at the start of something new. We have the capacity to shape what that looks like. And at the heart of it will be many of the core principles and core institutions of the existing order, adapted
So then it's
for
not a
the
new-
challenges that we face today.
So we're not going to burn down all of the institutions. I mean, things like the CIA and the NSA, they can be transferred. They can be massaged and reworked and adapted for the new era. Yeah, right. You dirty fucking stooge. Can you imagine like how hot he must have gotten right away when that guy started saying New World Order? He's like, oh shit. How am I gonna fucking make this one look all right? I can't imagine. These people are the worst. Like, and seriously, why else are you there? Like, the guy at least is telling you what we're here for. It's like, hey, look, we're losing control of the current system, and we need to be. And he goes, we have the capacity to shape that system. Oh, really? That sounds like a highfalutin term for like, we're gonna steal trillions of dollars from the peasants, and we're gonna use them to enrich ourselves through grants and loans and, transfers of titles and real estate. Like, these people are just dirty, disgusting commies who are, this guy, he's the teacher in me. So you know what else that says to me? He's never had a real fucking job in his entire life. He's lived off of our tax dollars his entire fucking life. He's a disgusting plague on our system. And these people need to be taken out back and shot. Figuratively.
Hypothetically.
Like dodgeball. We can shoot them with dodgeballs.
just
Anyways,
a little bit of
I
rock
got one
salt.
more here from. Yeah. We'll just pepper them a
Gonna
bit.
sting.
I've got one here. I think one more here from Davos. I love these walk and talks where journalists just pester these fucking people while they're at Davos. So here's one.
What's the carbon footprint of these events every single year that you come here? Think it's worth it? Peasants pay for your crimes?
That's a stupid question.
Is it really? Is it more stupid than you traveling here to tell us? Please don't. Sorry?
We're done. We are done now.
Don't grab me. You can't grab us. This is a free society, mate. We have freedom of the press. Why do you think you're more important? Your carbon footprint doesn't matter, but everybody else around the world.
Suggested that. Nobody ever suggested that.
Oh.
Don't make up stupid questions.
Wait. Didn't Bill Gates just justify himself having the largest footprint of any fucking person on? He justified. What did he say? Oh, well, I spend money to fix this new system. I fly around and I give lectures and I learn about things. I learn from farmers in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, that's exactly what you're all fucking saying. It's crazy. Do you think it's right that peasants should pay for your crimes? That's a stupid question. Why is that a stupid question? That is the fucking question, guy. It's amazing to me. And the look on these smug assholes' faces where it's just like, oh, get this dirty commoner away from me. Like, am I allowed to rough him up? And what are the laws here? Can I rough this guy up or what?
Being here suggests that.
A stupid question.
You being here every single year and doing this suggests that.
And I have done a huge amount.
Listen,
reduce
now
submission.
it's finished. Please.
Why can't I ask him questions? Who
And
are
at
you?
that point, I'm saying, listen, bitch, get your fucking hands off of me. You may think I'm your fucking slave, but I am not. You do not touch me. You touch me again, I'm going to call the fucking cops on you, and I'm going to cost you an hour. Because you're going to have to explain why you were putting your hands on me. And yeah, I know there's nothing going to happen to you because you're above the law. And we all know that. But I'm going to sit here and I'm going to film it and I'm going to waste your fucking day and show everybody how above the law you are. Because if I touched you for 1 second, I'd be spending the night in jail. And you can guarantee that'd be the case.
Oh, probably wouldn't even have to touch her.
Just if she called the cops at this point and said, I'm being harassed by a man who I don't know. He's claiming to be a journalist, but I've never heard of his outlet. Please come and help me. He would be like questioned thoroughly. His background would be looked into. He may be detained on the sidewalk for, a couple of hours, and he's going to lose an entire day of work because she's above the law and we are slaves. And that is the fucking way it's supposed to be. And you just need to get out of my face. Like, I just love these videos. Let's finish it.
Why are you trying to bully me out of us?
No, so please.
That doesn't. A lot of people say no to a lot of the policies and agendas he pushes. They don't get a choice. So why can't we ask him a question in a public space? Can you not touch me? Can you not touch me?
Get your fucking hands off me.
No, I'm happy.
Wait.
I just love
So
it.
answer. We can walk
I
nicely.
answered your question.
What did you answer?
Please respect
you
the
so
no.
I don't even know.
The answer to your question was it's a stupid question.
Listen, that's all right. We're walking to the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
You're a bunch of. Why are you working so hard to protect such a criminal? That's right, criminals. Why are you protecting criminals? There you go.
It's fucking true, too. I mean, they fly to the nicest place in Switzerland for a group of criminals to get together and jerk each other off for 4 hours each day and listen to each other talk about the same fucking bullshit. Like, how many times do you think he sat through the same stupid fucking climate change speech? Just regurgitated over and over and over again. How long can you sit in that audience and listen to them talking about rebuilding trust? Let's bring out another person and have them talk about rebuilding trust. How about you? You think you can rebuild some trust? We got some trust over there. Like, it's all stupid. They're not getting anything done. They're not getting to the bottom of anything. They're not fucking solving anything. Even if they had our full support, they wouldn't solve shit because they're incompetent fools. Like,
I mean,
it's just a waste of everything.
if I was into old wrinkly people or baby's blood, I mean, fuck, I'd go. That must be one hell of an after party.
Yeah, man. Who knows what these creepazoids are doing in the hotels afterwards? I guarantee they rent out entire hotels where you have to like have the wristband or have the credential just to even get into the hotel.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm going to go and grab a drink. They're like, no, you're fucking not, buddy. Get the hell out of here. Come back next month. It's unbelievable. I really enjoy those walk and talks though, because they don't solve anything. All they do is make these people uncomfortable and show us what disgusting criminals they are.
Yeah, but
like,
it's fun.
I just love them.
It's fun to ruffle those people's feathers because they like you said, they think they're above the law. They think they
are above the law. They don't think it. They know it because they've
are.
acted that way their entire lives. They're complete sociopaths. They think that the rules do not apply to them because they don't.
But it's at those rare
They just
occasions
don't.
where you can get close enough and, kind of just poke your finger into their world and stir shit up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. and they fucking, these criminals, like, ugh, they make me sick. All right. Let's switch gears here. We're actually doing pretty decent on time. I thought we were going to go over, but we're looking pretty good right now. So Donald Trump just smoked everybody in the cockeye in Iowa. So
Caucus.
let's go check in with MSNBC and see how things are going over there in Trump land.
At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech. We will keep an eye on that as it happens. We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything. No.
I like that she goes, the winner, and they have a big graphic of Donald Trump up there, but she won't even say his name because he's Voldemort.
Worthy, something substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. It is not out of spite. It is not a decision that we relish. It is a decision that we regularly revisit. And honestly, earnestly, it is not an easy decision, but there is a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things.
And obviously it has nothing to do with that. What it is these people finally learned their fucking lesson. Donald Trump smoked them because in 2020, because they gave him a free microphone whenever he stepped up in front of them. They just gave him a platform. They plastered his face everywhere. Everything he said, they would play it and react to it. And they're finally getting it. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but Trump is nowhere. Like, he trends on Twitter every once in a while, but you don't see him anywhere. He's not on Fox. He's not on Newsmax. He's definitely not on MSNBC, CNN, or CBS, but you just don't really see him. If you look for him, you can find him. He's doing rallies all over the place, big crowds and everything, but not in the media, not in podcasts. He does not come across my desk very often anymore. And they learned their lesson. That's, you would think that they would have figured it out earlier, but they finally did. And, what else can you really say? Like, he's going to beat him anyways. If he's allowed to stay on the ticket, if he doesn't go to jail, if they don't kill him, like, he's going to win. There's no chance that anybody has against him.
I don't. What's the chick's name that was in the?
Oh, Rachel Maddow. I fucking hate her.
No,
she's the worst.
She's one of the. It was Trump, DeSantis, Tulsi.
Oh, Nikki Haley. I thought you were talking about the newscaster.
So I heard a clip.
Yeah, she got smoked.
I didn't see this clip that you sent me, but I heard a clip of her saying something to the effect like she can honestly say that it's now a 2-person race because Vivek dropped out. And and in my head, I was thinking, well, she must be banking on the fact that Trump's not ever going to make it to the election, and it's going to be
she is
to the primary or whatever, So she's in her head, she's like, oh, it's going to be me and DeSantis, which I found hilarious.
Yep. And I think she's the establishment pick. She's getting all the big donor money right now. I think the establishment knows that Joe doesn't have another 4 years in him and that the people just don't want him. I think they'll let him run. They want it to be Biden-Haley, and they want Haley to win.
Probably.
Because you got to have a boogeyman. This is something we've been talking about a lot. Like, you have to have a boogeyman. Like we were just saying with these Davos freaks, they're never going to get anything done because they can't. They're just worthless people. They can't do anything. So they have to have a boogeyman that's obstructing them from doing what they want to do. We want to change. We want to give you better job. We want to raise, minimum wage. We want to move to net zero. But the Republicans, they just, they're dirty, disgusting people. They don't understand science, and they won't let us. That's the only way they're going to be able to hand wave off all this climate change type of shit, because they just can't get it done. And we don't have the ability to do it. Like, we don't have the power lines. We don't have the workers. We don't have the economy.
Yeah.
We're just not set up for shit like that right now. We are not. We are a service economy in this country. Like, people are not looking to work hard. And for a lot of this shit to get done that they want to do, You need people working hard. And we're sick of being these people's fucking workhorses. Like, I don't know about, like, people like, you know, you're not really doing their job. But, like, people like me, I lost my hand building their fucking technological society. Like, I like it too. Don't get me wrong. But, like, these are the drivers of innovation and technology, and they're the ones who are taking the energy. They're taking 80% of the energy. I would say that 80% of the work that I did in North Dakota went to oil that was going to be used for the establishment's purpose, maybe even more, because most of that oil is going to the military right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck those people. I don't want to do your dirty work. Build your own power lines, build your own factories, do your own fucking work. I have nothing in common with these psychopaths. Like, I don't want to live with them anymore. I hate this kumbaya come together shit. Like, I want us to go further apart. National divorce, stay the fuck out of my life, you disgusting perverts. Anyways, let's just revisit. You know, she was saying we can't run all these untruths and lies on our program. So why don't we just go through some quick Rachel Maddow highlights?
While we're on the subject.
Yeah.
Did I get straight? I got my shot. I did. I'm so excited. I got the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine. Can I just tell you about it for a second?
Oh, my. Let me hear it.
I went on my own, so I didn't have...
Please tell me about it. I can't wait.
Sounds juicy.
Anybody take a picture of me,
Johnson,
let alone me
two.
dancing like Chris did when I was getting the actual shot. I didn't...
Hey, I can guarantee you that she hasn't been poked with a Johnson since she was in high school. That dyke went to carpet right away.
I don't think I would have liked to see me, a picture of me getting the actual shot anyway, because I am afraid of needles, and so it would make me throw up if I saw a picture of myself getting an injection. But I did take this photo of myself. Right.
She looks like any 35-year-old man in a hat. You could just be like, hey, look at my cousin Joe over here. And it's just fucking Rachel Maddow. I hate this woman so much. Like, I used to get in massive arguments with one of my roommates in San Francisco because he would watch her every night. And I didn't know anything about anything at that point. I just knew that this woman was the enemy. And I was just like, put anyone else on. I can't stand this dyke. She annoys the fuck out of me. And I just didn't really know why I hated her so much. I just knew that she was the enemy. And it's like Uncanny Valley. You know what the Uncanny Valley is? So it's like AI. So, you know, on like AI photos, you can look down at the hands and the hands are all fucked up. Yeah. And you go, whoa! And it kind of like repulses you and you don't really know what's wrong with it. You just know that it's not right. That's what was happening with Rachel Maddow. I knew there was something not right about that dyke. And I was fucking right. Anyways, here's another one. Let's see. Which is the best one? I don't want to go through both of them, but well, whatever. Let's do this one first.
We do that. Just as a personal plea from me.
Oh, yeah.
If you have been putting off being vaccinated for whatever reason, don't agonize about it. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about that.
This is the hard-hitting news.
And, get you defensive about it. Just make a fresh decision now. Take a fresh look at the issue now, looking at what's going on now. No matter why you have put it off in the past, no judgment.
Oh.
Now is the time to actually...
No judgment. Mm-hmm. No judgment, you dirty prole. You dirty, disgusting person who I don't want around my children and I don't want in public society. I'm not judging you. I just think you're disgusting and I don't even like when I look at you and I see that you're not wearing a mask. I just know that you love Trump and it just, no judgment.
Go do it. Because we really cannot afford you having to go to the hospital right now. If you're unvaccinated, you have a much higher chance of getting this newly transmissible variant we had never seen before a couple of weeks ago.
And all of our nurses are so busy doing TikTok dances that they're just not going to be able to get to you in time. Like, we really can't handle this. We can't, again, the royal we, our hegemony, cannot afford you going to the hospital right now. Because if I'm in the hospital with you, I don't want to get your dirty, disgusting pearl germs. What a disgusting cunt.
And it's the unvaccinated people who it's going to make sick. And we really just cannot afford for you to have to go to the hospital right now. I mean, looking all around the country, depending on where you live, there is a very good chance there's no room for you in the hospital right now if you need to go. And if
That
you can
aged well.
somehow get a bed because you got COVID and you got sick from it because you weren't vaccinated.
How old? This is
if
old,
you are
right?
able to get yourself into a bed,
Oh, yeah. No, this is like 2 years old. This is in the middle of COVID. This is Omicron.
Okay.
So this is not even in the beginning of COVID. This is like towards the end. So this is like 2021, 2022. Like this is later. This is not in the beginning. And mind you, I got all of these clips off of MSNBC's website. So they're not even hiding. Like they're not going, hey, let's like kind of get rid of some of the shit that didn't need. No. Yeah, no. It's still up right on their fucking website. I couldn't believe it. I was like looking through Twitter and I was like, you know what? Let's go to the well and see if and I can find that. And there they are, right on there. You just pull up an article. There they are justifying themselves. No corrections. It's a beautiful thing.
you're going to be filling a bed that somebody else really needs.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't feel like you could do it before, even if you've been holding off for whatever reason,
I just can't.
Look at it freshly now. Now would be the time. Even if it wasn't okay for you before, it's okay for you to do it now. Honestly, your country needs you. And if you
and
are
you hear the
vaccinated,
laugh
but
tell,
you haven't been boosted
you
yet,
hear the
you're
laugh
eligible
tell.
for your booster, make your appointment for your booster. Now's the time. And I know from anecdotal experience where in part of the country where I live, right now signing up for a booster right now is sometimes hard to find an appointment.
Oh, God.
The only reason I'm saying that is not because you should be discouraged from trying to get one, but because if you know you need to get your booster, you should try to make your appointment now because you may have to make it some distance in advance in order to get into a vaccination site. So
And you might
time to
you
do
may
it.
die
This
before
is
you
it.
get your booster.
Yeah, I think something like 10% of the adult population in this country has taken the new one. So this age just great, right? And here's my conspiracy theory. She sent her brother to the vaccination site to take a picture of yourself so I can say that I got vaccinated. I don't think a lot of these fucking weirdos, I mean, these people are super freaks, so they probably just got vaxxed to the gills.
Well,
but
I mean,
who knows?
she's-
Like a lot of the,
she's
I
a
know
peasant.
a lot of the top people didn't. I mean, these are the useful idiots. You know, these are the ones who are going to bring in the revolution. And then as soon as the revolution happens, they're going on the cross, baby. She's going to be taken down for she's a lesbian, which is not okay. Like if you're a lesbian, you're denying the existence of trans people. That cannot be tolerated in the New World Order. If you are not willing to suck a feminine penis, you're a bigot and you don't belong in professional society. No job for you, Nolan. Suck that big clit. All right. And here's my favorite. This one's the best. She still has a tweet of this up, mind you. So she didn't even go through her own shit.
Being able, it means for instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person to person, spreading and spreading, sickening some of them, but not all of them. And the ones that it doesn't sicken don't know they have it. And then they give it to even more people because they didn't recognize they were, right? Instead of the virus being able to hop from person to person to person, potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way.
She's talking about monkeypox,
now we know
right?
that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus. The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else. It cannot use a vaccinated person as a host to go get more people. That means the vaccines will get us to the end of this if we just go fast enough to get the whole
population. We got to get everybody. If we just go fast enough, we got to get needles and arms, baby. I wonder if monkeypox is like, you know, you were never a heroin addict, but like, so as a heroin addict, when you hear that a buddy overdosed, you're like, dude, I got to get some of that shit. If your buddy's like, hey man, I went over to fucking Johnny's house the other night and I got a mean case of monkeypox. You're like, oh shit, Johnny fucking parties. Oh Oh boy, we're really cooking with gas tonight. Sorry, cooking with electricity. We're cooking with electricity.
Yeah.
This
easy,
is one of my,
easy. That'll get us canceled, man. We don't cook with gas.
Right. No. I actually do have an electric stove. I thought about paying my plumber to run gas lines for me, but he didn't run gas lines, so I had to call a different plumber, and I just haven't dealt with it yet. But I'm going to do it at some point. When this fucking stove wears out, I'm buying a gas stove. You better believe it. So this is one of my favorite videos that I saw this week. So we'll just play a second of the video because it's not really about the video. It's about like the event. So here is Green Day. Oops, sorry. Wait a minute. That's Jimmy Fallon right there. Hold on a second. Let's look at these lyrics again real quick. Don't want to be an American idiot. Don't want a nation under the new media. Wait a minute. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What is Jimmy Fallon doing in there then? This guy's the fucking worst. And let's go into a little bit of our Jimmy Fallon highlights. Here we go.
Well, this is great news. The FDA says Johnson & Johnson's one-shot vaccine is safe and effective.
Oh.
Only one shot. They actually released an official statement explaining their vaccine. They said, "You only get one shot." Meanwhile, Moderna and Pfizer are jealous because their vaccines take 2 shots. So they released a statement that said, but people don't really care which shot they get as long as it works. They're just like, So Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson put their differences aside to release this statement.
Yeah. Okay. That's beautiful. Thanks, Jimmy. We got the picture. But it's still not as good as this one.
Alpha, then Delta, then Omicron next. But this latest variant might be the best. It's XBB.1.5. Another brand of COVID-19 has arrived. It's a new strain.
Yeah, this guy's not a propagandist at all.
Sounds more like Elon Musk's his name. It's XBB.
All right, so now you've got a comedian on stage promoting one of the biggest drug companies in the world's vaccines, and now stoking fear over some stupid fucking variant that nobody ever caught or gave a shit about.
I never even heard of that one.
New media. That's exactly what this fucking guy is. Did you ever see V for Vendetta?
Long time ago. I've been meaning to watch it again.
V for Vendetta, they have these fucking guys. They have their funny guy. They come up and they just do the propaganda. It's here, read the lines, read the lines, read the lines. And finally, one of the guys steps out and does something real and does something funny. And he gets killed for it. That's Jimmy Fallon. That's who these fucking punk band Green Day, who have done tours under Pepsi banners for massive corporations. Like, these are the scum of the music industry. We're the rebels. We want to make a new, better world. Yeah, fuck you. You want to sell vaccines for pharmaceutical companies, you fucking cunts. Ugh, it's just disgusting. Here's where they really let it rip. Well, maybe I'm the faggot. America, I'm not part of the redneck agenda. They were never talking about MSNBC or CNN or CBS or any of those companies. All they were really talking about was Fox News and rednecks like us. These rednecks that they despise are destroying their country. And the new media is just Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, who have, like, Sean Hannity has zero fucking influence at this point. I think maybe 1 million people a week watch his show. Like, these are the people that you're supposed to be raging about. But no. We'll just bring him down into the subway with us because you know why? I bet you he'll run a clip of it on his show and we'll sell some fucking records because that's all they really give a shit about. They don't fucking care about those people that are listening to him play in the subway. Fucking peasants, disgusting. They smell. I bet they're not vaccinated. Ugh. Like, all they really want to do is sell some records for their whatever reunion, 20 year, however long it's been. That's the game. They'll do that. They'll launch a tour. They'll sell some records. They put out a new song that's fucking stupid. I was going to bring the lyrics up, but it's not even worth it. The song is just bad. I when I first heard it on the radio, I was like, I kind of started hearing the lyrics. I was like, oh, there's something there. And I just went, no, there's something wrong about this. Again, I hit the uncanny valley. And then I figured out what it was. It was fucking Green Day. So I knew it was just bullshit lies. Fucking propaganda, because that's all they are. Is propagandists. I figured we play a little bit of this. Like, the media learned their lesson, like we said with Trump. They're not playing his shit on the media anymore, but they still don't really understand what's going on. The only guy on the left that I've heard that actually gets it is Michael Moore. So this is an old video from Michael Moore.
In Michigan that are planning to vote for Trump, and they don't necessarily like him that much, and they don't necessarily agree with him. They're not racist and rednecks, and they're actually pretty decent people.
Oh, so Green Day's full of shit is basically what he's saying. They're not racist rednecks. They're pretty decent people. Take that, Green Day.
And so I wanted to sort of, after talking to a number of them, I wanted to write this. And Donald Trump came to the Detroit Economic Club and stood there in front of the Ford Motor executives and said, if you close these factories as you're planning to do in Detroit and build them in Mexico, I'm going to put a 35% tariff on those cars when you send them back, and nobody's going to buy them. It was an amazing thing to see. No politician, Republican or Democrat, had ever said anything like that to these executives. And it was music to the ears of people in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, the Brexit states. You live here in Ohio, you know what I'm talking about. Whether Trump means it or not is kind of irrelevant, because he's saying the things to people who are hurting. And it's why every beaten down, nameless, forgotten working stiff who used to be part of what was called the middle class loves Trump. He is the human Molotov cocktail that they've been waiting for. The human hand grenade that they can legally throw into the system that stole their lives from them. And on November 8th, Election Day, although they lost their jobs, although they've been foreclosed on by the bank, next came the divorce, and now the wife and kids are gone. The car's been repoed. They haven't had a real vacation in years. They're stuck with the shitty Obamacare bronze plan where you can't even get a fucking Percocet. They've essentially lost everything they had, except one thing. The one thing that doesn't cost them a cent and is guaranteed to them by the American Constitution: the right to vote. They might be penniless, they might be homeless, they might be fucked over and fucked up. It doesn't matter, because it's equalized on that day. A millionaire has the same number of votes as the person without a job.
Tell that to Davos.
Yeah.
One. And there's more of the former middle class than there are in the millionaire class. So on November 8th, the dispossessed will walk into the voting booth, be handed a ballot, close the curtain, and take that lever, or felt pen or touchscreen, and put a big fucking X in the box by the name of the man who has threatened to upend and overturn the very system that has ruined their lives. Donald J. Trump. They see that the elites who ruined their lives hate Trump. Corporate America hates Trump. Wall Street hates Trump. The career politicians hate Trump. The media hates Trump after they loved him and created him, and now hate him. Thank you, media. The enemy of my enemy is who I'm voting for on November 8th. Yes, on November 8th, you, Joe Blow, Steve Blow, Bob Blow, Billy Bob Blow, all the blows get to go and blow up the whole goddamn system because it's your right. Trump's election is going to be the biggest fuck you ever recorded in human history. And it will feel good.
And then he goes on to trash Donald Trump for like an hour. But that's a great fucking clip, man.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Moore gets it. This is what the left used to sound like. This is how the left used to get votes. Like, we know your lives are destroyed by these disgusting elites, and we want to fix it. We want to make it better for you. We want to give you a better paying job. We want to make your childcare cost less. We want to make your schools better. Now the left is these fucking super freaks in Davos who are just saying, we're going to steal everything from you, and we're going to scold you when you don't trust us. And then we'll try and build it back. But he's right. This is the biggest fuck you. Like, when in our lives has there ever been a chance for a massive collective fuck you to the system? It's never happened. Not in my lifetime. Like, you could consider like BLM a fuck you to the system, but it's really not. It was the system doing its fucking job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that was bullshit. It wasn't like Vietnam, where 1 million people would get out in the streets and just tell the government to go fuck themselves. And I honestly believe that we have the energy for that in this country, aside from the fact that there's no draft. If there was a draft right now, people would be losing their fucking minds.
Well, it's not too
But
late
there's
for
not.
that. we got plenty of
No,
time.
it could definitely happen. It could absolutely happen. Let's see. I've got 2 more videos here. We'll save Jelly Roll for next week. Let's go one more with Klaus Schwab, and then I got another WEF.
You have
Oops.
this anti-system movement. What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
He's talking exactly what Michael Moore. They're talking about the exact same thing right now.
So fixing the present system is not enough. Now there is, of course, a anti-system, which is called libertarianism, which means to tear down everything which creates some kind of influence of government into private lives. It's dismantling the system.
Yeah, it's dismantling our democracy. See, it's dismantling our system. This guy's sweating a little bit here. These people are sweating. You know, they at some point they're going, hey, look, people are going to get their fucking pitchforks out. And, you know, I don't think it's the Libertarian Party because it is under new management, which has helped things. But I really think that it's just Twitter. Like, these people cannot go on Twitter without getting destroyed. There is not one good, like, nobody is putting a good spin on these videos on Twitter. Nobody. You can't find one person being like, oh, look at this great idea from the nothing. Like, they're getting no love from anybody. The left and the right hates them, and they know it. And I think it's probably has a little, there's gonna have a little bit to do with this guy here. This is kind of a rough interview, but we'll listen to it anyways, because this is a great fuck you to the system. This is
Thank you
Javier
very
Milei.
much. Today, I'm here to tell you that the Western world is in danger. And it is endangered because those who are supposed to have to defend the values of the West are co-opted by a vision of the world that inexorably leads to socialism and thereby to poverty. Unfortunately, in recent decades, motivated by some well-meaning individuals willing to help others, and others motivated by the wish to belong to a privileged caste, the main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We're here to tell you that collectivist experiments are never the solution to the problems that afflict the citizens of the world. Rather, they are the root cause. Do believe me, no one better placed than us, Argentines, to testify to these 2 points.
Yeah. I don't know why they let him up there on that conference, but I sure am glad they did, because he just basically went in there and said, you guys are all fucking morons and you're destroying the planet and stealing the wealth of our citizens. And it was fucking beautiful. And if you want collectivism being a problem, go watch San Francisco Supercross this weekend. It was a mutter. San Francisco's so tight that they had to have the pits like a mile away from the race. And get this shit, you couldn't ride the bike from the track to the pits unless it was washed, because God forbid we get some dirt on our beautiful clean street.
Don't you get that natural soil contaminating that human shit on the sidewalk, you piece of shit.
Yeah. Mud bad, but mud good. So yeah, if you want to have San Francisco coming to a city near you, put these people in charge. If you don't, if you want to have a good life and you want to have some money when you die to leave to your kids or grandkids, go with Javier Milei. Until next week, we're out of here. Good night.